What's going on, you guys? Slim back here with a new deck profile for you guys. Welcome to the new format, and I had to feature this. My boy Noah went undefeated in our new format tournament over at TCG Lounge. Definitely check us out. YBM's been rebranded, same address and everything. It's always the first link in my description. Be sure to come check us out for such a bunch of just awesome competitive tournaments. I'm floored by what I'm looking at because he played Drytron, but as you guys notice, there is a huge difference between this list and the typical Drytron list people expected after the ban list. Ava got banned, Ben 10 still at 1. If you notice something, there's a ton of cards that are just omitted from this deck, and he basically replaced them with a superior engine. Noah's been on the channel before. He is known for playing the Vandread Battle Lord, and he took it down once again with this crazy take on the deck, and I'm super excited to talk about it. As always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. That way you guys won't miss a single upload from me. If you want to build this deck yourself or just buy cards in general, use my TCG Player affiliate link. It supports the channel. And like I said, come check us out at the TCG Lounge. This is just crazy though. I am still floored by what I'm seeing because his approach is so insane, and I think this can be a way for Drytron players to adjust in the new format. Protos is gone, so you don't have to worry about just completely getting shut out by that. I love the fact that he decided to take a different approach though, and I think a lot of you are going to be surprised by how this deck works. He gave me a very in-depth kind of like combo tutorial of how to do it so I can explain it to you guys, especially if you've never played this before. But we're going to get into the deck again. You know, shout out to him. This deck is awesome, and I love to see when players are having success with something that they've been playing in past formats and just adjusting it for the new list. But let's get into it. He is playing one copy of Lancia, so this is searchable in the deck. If you guys remember the earlier iterations of Drytron, this was searchable. Not only that, PK Brave is arguably the best deck of the format, and Lancia literally shuts that deck down. Very hard to play through that card, to play through Lancia. I think the fact that you can just search this at any time, it's also applicable in so many matches and decks this format. There's no reason not to play one copy, so I like that he enjoyed it. For his Drytron lineup, though, he is playing 3 copy, of course, of Alpha, 2 copies of Delta. He's playing 3 copies of Gamma, as well as 3 copies of Zeta. That's just pretty standard. That's, I think, what the Drytron lineups have been lately. He did decide to add 2 copies of Manju. Just being able to search a ritual monster or ritual spell from the deck just helps with the consistency for what this deck is trying to accomplish. He is still playing Dragoon, which is crazy to say because I don't remember the last time I talked about Dragoon. Everything has been DPE this, DPE that, and instead of going a DPE Scythe package route, he decided to stick to what works, and Dragoon is just really strong in this deck. I think players have started to forget Dragoon, and now that, you know, more players are trying it out again, it'll definitely be something that will, you know, impact the format. It'll be a card that players have to play around like they did before and prepare for it, because not every deck will play DPE. Of course, the Ben 10, unlike Master Duel, this card is at 1, so yeah, that's just standard. He's got, of course, the 1 copy of Natasha as well as the Draco Nids. That's all standard. In addition to this deck, though, he added a whole new engine. If you guys notice, there are no Diviner of the Heralds. There are no Herald of Orange Lights. There are just none of the fairy stuff, like literally no fairy stuff in this deck, and he just went a more like ritual based deck, and he decided to add in the Megalith card. So he has 1 copy of the Megalith Bethor, 1 copy of the Megalith Ophile. I'm gonna butcher all these names just so you know. 2 copies of the Fool, and then he added his signature card Vandread Battle Lord. If you guys remember when him and his team made the top cut in our 3v3 a couple months ago, he featured this card. He also featured the combo with it, how this card can literally just shut down the opponent's turn completely. You're able to declare a monster, spell, or trap, and the rest of the turn your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. It's basically a Shockmaster. It's absolutely crazy, and I love the fact that he's stuck with this and been able to incorporate it even into our new format. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. This approach, I think, is just so unique, and I just love to see it. You got one copy of Call by the Grave. That's just standard for any hand trap that gets in your way. Triple Chaos Space, because you can search your engine with it. Fuels your graveyard as well. The triple copies of Cyber Emergency for all your Drytrons. Only 1 copy of Fafnir. It's all you need, along with the 3 copies of Nova. That's just standard for Drytron cards. The 1 Foolish Burial for it to be any name. 3 droplets. I feel like this is mandatory. You have to be able to get through these crazy boards, this format, with all the Brave engines everywhere in like every deck. You need a card that can really just, you know, play, you know, they can play through a board, and being able to put your Drytron names in the grave helps too. So this card is insane. You got, of course, just 1 copy of the Ritual Spell, because all you need is recyclable. Only 1 copy of Red Eyes Fusion. Then he does play the Vandread Evolution. This is the ritual card card to summon Battle Lord, similar to how he played it last time. He's playing it again, and then just ending the deck with 2 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. That is the main deck. Onto the side deck. So for the side deck, he played 2 copies of Token Collector. You guys already know this is not only for Sword Soul, but now for the Brave token as well. So this card has, you know, multiple interactions, and the card just never really leaves the, it keeps recurring. So this card is just insane against Sword Soul and other decks. 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. Back row decks, Skill Drain is at 3, so you really do need to prepare for that because Skill Drain just absolutely destroys so many decks this format. 3 copies of Dark Ruler to break any board and then just play through it. 1 copy of Duster again for the back row decks. He is playing triple copies of Mystic Mine, and you can say what you want about this card. I'm surprised this card did not even get touched on the list, but this card is a necessary evil in formats. This deck does not play any real back row. The opponent is not going to side in any back row removal. You literally hit them with a Mystic Mine going second, and you could literally win the game right there. So this card is insane. And then triple copies of Evenly as well as a red reboot. Honestly, if you are a back row deck coming up against this deck, it's just going to be a bad day for you. He's got so much removal for those decks as well as Sky Striker that it's just a really, really strong lineup to combat any kind of skill drain deck that you might, or stun deck that you might see in this format. And then lastly, to the extra deck, we do have the 1 copy of Dragoon, the 1 copy of Dweller, which you can make in this deck, which is actually pretty cool to shut down certain decks of the format. The Zeus and the Downer, that's standard. The 2 copies of Beta Fafnir, standard as well. Access Code Talker to end games. Appaloosa for end boards. Curious, which is one of the focal points of the decks that I will touch upon after we finish the list. 1 copy of IP. The 2 Nightmares in Phoenix and Unicorn. The 1 copy of Link Karibo. The 1 copy of Verde for Dragoon plays. And the 1 copy of Relinquish Anima. Now, lastly, I'm going to go through what he did send me for this for anyone that is wondering how does he pilot this deck and what is pretty much your goal when comboing with this deck. So what I was told is that you Nova for Zeta and then you link that into Link Karibo. Zeta will tribute Lord. You'll add the Evolution Ritual spell, which again is this card right here, the Vandread Evolution, for anyone who is wondering. Ritual summon the Battle Lord, so you are going to summon the Battle Lord. And then after that, you are able to declare monsters by banishing Lord. Zeta will link into your Anima, and all 3 are different types, so the 3 monsters you have on the field are different types. You then are going to go into Curious, like I said, which is the focal point of the deck, and you're going to dump whatever Drytron name you need at the time, and then Lord adds Ben 10 and sends the last Lord. Then Curious will mill 3. Another thing to note is that after Curious, you need Alpha to add Fool to ritual it, and on summon, Fool will add back Ben 10, becoming a level 6, and then Fool will ritual summon the Ophiol, if that's how you pronounce it, the Ophiol, by tributing Ben 10. Ophiol on summon will then add the Fool and Ben 10, and then it will add Manju or Lancia. So like I said, you are able to search the Lancia, so it's a very, very strong card to have on top of your ending board. The reason you add a second Fool is because Fool on board is a level 6 and Fool in hand is a level 2, and these make a level 8 to ritual summon Bethor from the deck, so you are working towards summoning Bethor from the deck. After that, Bethor can then pop up to 4+ cards depending on how many different names of rituals you have engraved, which is per its effect. And Manju and Ophiol overlay into Abyss Dweller, like we said, so he is having an end board of basically battle lording, popping cards, and making a Dweller on top of all that. And Curious and another monster can make Appaloosa, and you can use the rest of the monsters except Fool to make Anaconda for your Dragoon play, or you can make an IP if you are able to as well. But that is the deck, you guys. Absolutely crazy. I wish we could have gotten this in person, but I am super happy for him that he was able to bring it home, especially in this new format. Give this a try, you guys. Like, this is actually crazy. This is not what I expected from Drytron at all, and it actually just really focuses on more rituals and takes the deck to a level that honestly I haven't seen before. Outside of him piloting Battle Lord, the fact that he threw in the Megalith and was able to find a balance for them is just awesome. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Comment for the algorithm, it helps a lot, and let me know your thoughts on Drytron and just any ritual approach this format, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.